Alright, so continuing where we left off. Now the reason why I told you guys to hold on to all of your items is because of what's going to come next. This right here is what I deem the killer of all level 1 slash proud speedruns, because it is just an awful fight. It is a fight that is so dependent on your positioning, your items, and also just your overall knowledge of the fight to make it a bearable fight versus just a horrific fight where players can spend literally hours trying to get through this just because maybe they're not getting enough fires off, they're not taking full advantage of damage storage, and I can't blame you for that, because this more than anything comes down to positioning and then also some luck, because Ansem 3's AI kind of works in your favor and kind of not, and when it doesn't work in your favor at all. But the goal of this fight, even though you can't see it on level 1, is to burst him down as fast as possible. I believe at his yellow bar, similar to Ansem 2, he starts his DM phase where a whole bunch of lasers are going to come out. And the problem with his DM phase, which isn't a problem with Ansem 2, is that his DM never really ends. Like, he'll do it, there'll be like a whole bunch of waves of lasers, and remember, if you're on proud or level 1, you can't tank that. Even with arrow, you still die in 2 hits. So it's like, either I burst them down and try and dodge these lasers as much as I can, or I'm basically just going to die, and you just have to repeat this over and over again. But first, what we're going to do here is you're going to see like the little standard strat. Obviously I'm going to die because this is proud, but for standard, you're basically going to go over here. You're going to hit him once or twice, and if you can time it perfectly on the third hit that he does, well, the third hit that Sora would do, you would already have arrow ready. So once he hits Sora while Sora's casting arrow, we cancel that animation lag from casting magic in the air, and we can continue to whop on him with 3-hit combos. And you would dodge the lasers just like we would see it here, but you can be more aggressive, especially in standard, because you can always heal. And also another trick on standard is near the end of his DM phase, when he's dying on his last bar, if you can squeeze out an elixir to get like a full heal off on Sora right before you deal the final blow on Ansem 3, that's going to go ahead and get you started on the next part of the fight. But let's go ahead and see how you would do it in standard first, even though proud isn't a good representation. So when he went up like that, that's when you would have done arrow, and then I'm going to let him do what he has to do. But then you would just come in here and you would just repeat the combos. I would only try and do 2 hits. You can do a finisher if you're feeling froggy, but I would mainly try and do 2 hits on him, just for the simple fact that there's no ending lag from your, from doing your finisher, so you won't get caught up in any moves. And then next lasers are going to come out. It's pretty self-explanatory. We will see me dodge those after I die, and we start applying the level 1 slash proud XP 0 strat to Ansem 3. Alright, so here is the moneymaker strat, you guys. There's no arrow, there's no reason for you to use arrow in this battle, because if you're on proud or level 1, you're going to die in 2 hits, especially in a speedrun situation, so don't waste your MP on arrow. Our go-to here is basically damage storage and fire, and I would prefer that you have at least 2 elixirs, if not 3 to 4, if possible, to get through this. But what we're going to try and do here is, number 1, take full advantage of damage storage. If he hits you when he comes up here, not a big deal, but we want to get damage storage off, which is by completing a aerial combo on him. Of course, Sora's regular finisher, because Hurricane Blast doesn't work in the air for obvious physical reasons. But after that, we're basically going to spam fire for the rest of this fight. The main issue though is positioning and learning how to dodge the lasers properly, and also knowing when to use items. Now there's a certain gate, I can already tell you from the start of the battle, if things are going to go right for you or not go right for you. Once he begins the first set of lasers, his HP bar should already be in the middle of the pink, or close to the middle of the pink. If it's still in the purple, you're in for a bad time. But we're going to go ahead and at least give part of this a shot right here, because I probably will die multiple times, because I can do it, I'm just not that good at it yet. So we're going to come over here so we can get damage storage activated. That didn't work because he parried it. And then what I'm going to try and do is go over here. Kind of, you can stay where Guardian's shoulder is at, where you see like the red guy sticking out with the eye right in between Sora's glove and his keychain on his shorts. But we just want to position ourselves to Ansem to where when we start doing fires, which is going to push us back, they naturally try and curve to him. So you want to stay either below him or above him, so it can kind of arc and work in your favor. And a really big part about this battle is making sure all the fires connect. If the fires don't connect, which to you, if you're spamming fire and it doesn't connect, you're just not in close enough range, or he's dodging them, which is hard to believe, but it's really about getting those fires to hit him. So I'm already not going to DPS him super well because he just cracked into the pink bar, which is probably going to result in a death. But once you hear him say audio, that's a good cue that lasers are about to come. It doesn't matter what phase that he's in. Normally, if he talks and says his quotes, lasers are going to come out. So he's going to set out two lasers this time. Well, two sets of lasers this time. What I like to do here, though, is glide slowly to the right. Wait for the first one to come out. Kind of marinate Sora there for a second. And then move slowly back to the left. After that, we're going to go ahead and throw in another potion. Not a potion, but elixir to fully restore our MP, because my MP should already be pretty low. And of course heal Sora, because if not, we're going to die in one hit. Pausing while doing this fight is actually insane. Actually insane. Alright, so we're going to go over here and try and activate the damage storage. I always get hit from that. Not a super big deal. Alright, so we're going to move over. I was in the wrong menu for that. Make sure you're watching your fires. Alright, next up is another array of lasers. What you want to do here, though, is try and move away from him. It's kind of hard to gauge how far away you are from him, though, because there's no real markers in the environment, because it's nothing but darkness. But you want to move away to him far enough that not only can you dodge the lasers, but you can also make the bats that he spawns despawn, because if not, this battle is pretty much impossible to do, because you have to heal, and MP is very, very important here to burst him down before his DM phase, where it's extremely hard to kill him and it takes extremely long time, and it's just dangerous if a fight continues to go on for longer and longer, because that just ends up getting more death. But well, more chances to die. But what I'm going to do is try to move out the way here, and some players make like a square formation for Sora to try and dodge the lasers and get back in place so they can get ready to do their fire spam. And we're going to wait for a second once the bats come out for them to despawn, and then we're going to head back to him and continue our fires. So then you can go up, you would go down just like that with the lasers. The bats did despawn. So a big issue I see here with players as well, even in just a level 1 casual playthrough, is that they're either too far away or too close when he does this move. There's like, honestly, there has to be a sweet spot for distance for this move, because this is where a big majority of your DPS is going to come at. How fast you can get back to your position to spam those fires while he's doing his little, you know, his ballerina stuff with his I guess is a javelin, his two-sided blade or whatever. This right here is prime time to get some mad fires in. And make sure you just stay aware of your MP, and make sure you pop elixirs as much as you can, and hopefully burst them down as his DM phase is starting.
Fire! Fire! See ya! Fire!
This isn't going good.
Here! Fire!
You see that pause right there? that is a great time to just womp him. But unfortunately, I feel like my timing is slightly off here. So ideally, when he starts saying that quote, he should already be in the green bar and close to death. And at that point in time, it's safe to go ahead and go in and burst him down. But unfortunately, he's starting his DM. Because when you hear the quote, still confused, maybe this will help, which I believe that's the quote, or maybe this will enlighten you, something like that, but still confused, that is the beginning of the DM phase, and once it hits this phase, the battle gets a whole bunch more spicier, and with the endless array of lasers, it's just a bad time. Because these guys come out and they basically just won't stop. And if they do stop, you have a very small window of which you can go ahead and attack him in. So I mean, you can kite these out, but ideally in a speedrun, you don't want to be doing this. Because you see how they like go away some? And then they're back again. And the problem is that there's so many lasers and you don't really have the items to continue to do this. And there he goes, trying to suck your MP away.
Still confused? Then perhaps this will enlighten.
Alright, we are back at it again. Just try and keep your eye on my positioning, if possible. Because that's the big thing in this fight. It's just something that's very difficult to talk while doing.
Fire! Fire!
Welcome the darkness into your heart.
Here! Fire!
All shall be extinct.
So we're going to move out. If you want to go up and do kind of like a square formation, that's perfectly fine. Make sure those guys despawn, and we're going to come back as quickly as we can.
Fire!
Trying to make sure those fires arc down.
Here! See ya!
Oh, I'm a little bit close to him.
Fire! This should help. Fire!
Still confused? Then perhaps this will enlighten.
Close, very close. But more of my fires needed to hit. And if you're feeling bad about this fight, don't feel bad about it. This fight sucks.
Fire! Heal! Here!
Alright, he's about to spawn those freaking bats. So we're going to go ahead and burst him down right now. That wasn't perfect at all, but that is Ansem 3. So basically what you want to do is try and make sure you're hitting him with as much fires as possible. I'm pretty sure I would have had it if a couple of my fires didn't miss, but just take into account where my positioning is at, and even if you can get a little bit closer to him and not waste as much time as I did on the second wave of lasers, you should be good to go. So once again, if you're having problems with him, don't feel that way. This is just a crappy fight. But yeah, I definitely hope this video helped. And in the next one will be the final video, at least of this walkthrough in terms of standard and proud. So I'll see you guys then. And if you guys ever need any help with Ansem 3, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Catch me on Twitch doing a run. Obviously my Twitch title or my Twitch name is Elio as well. And I can gladly assist you in whatever way possible. Also, if you have any more tips for Ansem 3, do leave them in the comments below to help out other players. And I'll see you guys in the last segment.